Well, good morning and welcome into the Real Monica Adams Show. It is 7 a.m. and I saw something this morning that I was very confused by. I wasn't sure what was falling on my windshield. Did anybody else have a little sprinkle coming in? I was like, what is this? It's been so dry for so long, but there was a very slight chance of some sprinkles, and I do mean just sprinkles. It was like I could probably have counted how many hit my windshield, but it was something we haven't seen in a while, which was pretty interesting for sure. No big rain in the forecast. We are going to do our weather, and it is definitely that shift into colder weather. We can feel that fall is here. A lot of you are ready for it. Some of you are like, hey, it's October, almost November. Let's go ahead and get into fall. If you're one of those, shout out in our comments. We love to interact with you. If you're brand new to the show, welcome, by the way. We've been doing this for a year and a half now, and I love to see just how far-reaching our show is. So let us know what city, what state you're watching from. Let us know what platform you most like to see the show on. We love to keep those platforms growing and growing. Someone yesterday met me and said, I love that you're on Rumble. Thank you for that. That's where I watch a lot of my shows. You got it. They also wanted to know if we had a podcast. We do. Those are on Thursday mornings. We drop those at 8 a.m. And that's one of our really powerful shows that we have each week that I want to thank Hannah Ledford for our audio editing. She puts those together for us on Thursday. My team is here working hard for you. Zach Kimball, Tia Tricamo, and as I mentioned, Hannah Ledford. Michelle Harmon, we're going to check in with tomorrow. She's in Sicily, Italy. Yes, we'll be talking about traveling abroad, traveling with mother, daughter, and having an entire group with you. How hard is that to wrangle everybody together and try to please everyone? So we'll check in Italy with Michelle tomorrow. Or we've got our weather, news you can use, some sports news, a trending story that is quite hilarious, and I wish I had a big group of people in here to talk about it. Instead, I'll talk to you about this viral story, a viral video that we're going to show you here in just a second. And then we're going to talk about nutrition, health coaching, mind, body, soul connections, and a tarot card reading, something we've never done on the show. We've got a packed show for you, so let's get it underway. First of all, kicking it off with your weather. Definitely something that you're wanting to know. 58, look at that. That is the high for today. 58 degrees. It's not much warmer than we are right now. A lot of you stepping out in the upper 40s to low 50s and only getting up to 58 today. 37 for the low. And you see that Blues emblem? Yep, the Blues are in action tonight. We're going to talk about their home opener in just a bit. A lot of you might be going to the big rally that they have with your kids, so you're definitely going to need to bundle up, not only just for the rally, but when you come out of the game tonight. Now, tomorrow, the big story, according to First Alert 4, they're saying it is a First Alert day. AM freeze or frost. Yes, cover up that very delicate vegetation, your flowers. 61 for our high, but it's the low, 37. And in those outlying areas, some of you might hit freezing or even below that. Our low of 40 Wednesday night. And then another cold morning, again, going into Thursday, eventually warming up to 69. And we can start to see the nice weather pattern coming back. The lows in the low to mid 40s as we head into the weekend, but 72 in sunshine on Friday, Saturday, Sunday in the mid 70s, and then we get into next week, that chance of rain finally popping up on the forecast Tuesday with a high almost near 80 though. So the nice mid to upper 70s coming back into next week. But again, those lows, you're definitely going to feel it as we get into tomorrow morning and again into Thursday morning. It is 7:04. We're going to kick things off this morning for any of you that might be traveling or living within our area that might take the Stan Musial Veterans Memorial Bridge. So a shout out to all of you that travel from Illinois into Missouri or vice versa. Shut down for possibly a couple days, maybe even a few. This is due to a fire in a vacant building that has billowing smoke affecting Highway 70 in both directions right there at the bridge. You can use, of course, all the other bridges as alternates, but the fire broke out going into its 18th hour right now at an abandoned building just north of downtown St. Louis. It's burning at a building near the intersection of Broadway and Malamphy. Trying to get it under control. That was more at the height of the fire. It's along the North Riverfront, and firefighters were worried about visibility. That is the reason for the closure. So once again, MoDOT closing down the Stan Musial Veterans Memorial Bridge for up to 2 days. We'll continue to follow that. We'll let you know by Thursday going into Friday if it has reopened. I mentioned this yesterday in the news you can use. The end of an era happening today, the demolition of Chesterfield Mall. And I mentioned if you want to drop in some comments about what that mall has meant to you, the great stories over the years, the great memories. Demolition beginning this morning, paving the way for what officials are calling downtown Chesterfield, a multi-use property made up of apartments and offices, again, mixed-use space. It's the first phase of a $2 billion redevelopment project. It's going to pave the way for this. Again, we're going to see retail there, but also new apartments, about 2,700 of them, restaurants, grocery, as well as offices, all of that centered around a public park. It will be about 6 months to tear the entire building down, and altogether the project should be completed. Wait for this. It's going to take 10 years to have all of it. The public infrastructure, including roads, sidewalks, utilities, and parking, $352 million of the $2 billion price tag is coming from tax increment financing for the improvements. Well, there's a stretch of road that many of you probably take throughout the summer, and then you start to take it again a lot throughout the winter. This is the stretch right in front of Ted Drew's. Now, we've actually talked about this in the past, where they were going to look to improve that area because of the posing dangers to pedestrians. And literally, it's become like a racetrack if you've driven in the area, heading down that stretch in South St. Louis on Chippewa. They're going to put out bollards, a bump out, raised curb, among other safety measures, all promised out in front of Ted Drew's. They've been talking about this for a while. You know, they get packed with people literally right up against the street, and that has caused a lot of problems, a very dangerous situation for people that are trying to drive in that area. It's been delayed in part because traffic signal equipment has a very long lead time, and that's an integral component of the phasing of the project. That's according to a representative from the mayor's office. Again, Ted Drew's has had many requests for changes to the design, and the city has worked diligently with them to find the best solution. They're looking to finally start this in the spring, maybe even a little bit earlier. So the key safety improvements, I want you to know, they will do relocation of the east parking lot entrance at the store, which is at 6726 Chippewa, construction of a new accessible signalized mid-block crossing, improved lighting for increased visibility, that's a good idea, installation of a new PTZ camera tied into the real-time crime center, that's awesome, for increased security, and then construction of a new bump out, again with bollards and fencing to corral and separate the patrons from the vehicle traffic out in front of the store. I mean, come on, how many of you have been going there for years upon years and bringing your kids and your grandkids there, and the kids, all of a sudden you try to wrangle them up and they're right up against the street. I've always been worried about that, and we've talked about pedestrians being hit, and literally like a racetrack. That's not the only area. There's several areas in the city where people are saying this has to change. It's such a popular destination for people who come all over the U.S. coming in to Ted Drew's. So glad to see that that is finally changing. Okay, did you see the news? It was all over the national news about Diddy. He's been known as many things over the years. P. Diddy, Sean Diddy Combs. So some new charges coming against him. He's currently in jail. 6 new lawsuits accuse Diddy of sexual misconduct. 6 new lawsuits filed against the music mogul by Houston-based lawyers in New York. It happened yesterday in federal court, alleging various sexual abuses by Combs against unnamed plaintiffs, including one man who says he was 16 at the time of the incident, marking the latest allegations against him since his high-profile indictment just last month. Now, Combs has not specifically responded to the allegations that were filed yesterday, but he has denied other claims against him. And I will tell you, it was definitely trending all over social media. I was looking at X, a ton of pictures that were being posted of his white parties, and then all of the different actors and actresses and people in the music industry that they're saying are worried about the information that's going to come out. This one has legs, not over anytime soon. Let's talk about some updates to your Apple iPhone that really could help our police officers. Apple's iOS 18 update includes a new feature that allows iPhone users to share live video and photos with 911 dispatchers during emergency calls. Here's how it works. Dispatchers can request that callers actually share the live video or the photos over a secure connection. The benefits: it gives first responders a better idea of the caller's location, actually helps them reach the caller faster. Now, it's available through the Rapid SOS platform, which is used by over right now 5,700 agencies, and I hope that grows. It covers 99% of the U.S. population. It is free for existing emergency service customers. Speaking of our police, here's our trending viral video of the day. This happened in Ohio. First of all, just take a look at what happened and then tell me, what would you do in this circumstance if this is what you came upon?
As reported, we have an inflatable pumpkin.
Okay, that is a giant inflatable pumpkin. You know, right now everybody's decorating for Halloween. And so this came off of the yard. The officer pulls up on it, sees this massive thing, and I want you to tell me in a second what you think this reminds you of, because we all went there. Watch what happens to this officer, though. Oh! Okay, let me tell you right now, no officers were injured in this, although it looked like he could have been. He just put his hand up and then it went, in that video, it looks like it enveloped him. It then turns itself over on its side. But look at all the people that are trying to come onto the road and come upon this. So Zach and I were talking, and I heard a lot of the TV anchors doing this story this morning, and they all said it was very reminiscent of that. Yes, the blob is taking over and everyone's running for their lives. That is exactly what it looked like. So made us kind of laugh this morning. But again, the good news is no one's injured. But here's what I want to know. What would you have done? The anchor, he's laughing. The anchors that were on Channel 4 this morning said, I'm sorry, I would have just taken a knife and I would have just popped it right away and said, sorry, everybody, but we got to get these cars going by and I'm not letting this thing envelop me. What would you have done? Would you have actually taken the time, and I don't know if they did, to push it back into the neighbor's yard? There was actually backup officers that had to be called for this. It was eventually moved out of the road, and it actually was returned to the owner, not harmed. So no police and no pumpkins harmed in this story. All right, are you ready for this? Let me get a Let's Go Blues. Finally, the home opener tonight. 6:30 is the face-off, but a lot will take place before the game actually starts at Enterprise Center. It'll be against the Minnesota Wild, so the puck will drop at 6:30, but this is what's open to the public, and it doesn't cost anything. A big rally that will start at 2:30 this afternoon until 4:45, and I mean things for the kids. They will have the Blues broadcasters come out, upper-level management, even an appearance by Braden Shen, and then they ask that you are in your seats if you do have a ticket by 6:15, and that is to see a new video with a remake of Meet Me in St. Louis, which will be really cool. They'll also introduce you to the new in-game hosts and a brand new national anthem singer. Yeah, it's no longer Charles Glenn, so he's passing off the torch. That should be really cool. And then at the Family Arena in St. Charles, the GOAT is coming to town. Simone Biles in town, and that is for not just Simone, but several of our incredible gymnasts: Jade Carey, Jordan Childs, Paul Judah, Brody Malone, Frederick Richard, Hesley Rivera, and so many more. Again, it's called Gold Over America, and yesterday I heard just a few tickets were still available, so I'm not sure if they still have some. It is tonight at the Family Arena, 7:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Should be a lot of fun. If you don't have tickets, again, you can try to look into those to see if some are still available. And I just saw this move on social media, so I'd like to give a shout out to our dear friend Randy Grimm. You know, we aired a video of him last week. Just saw this move within the last 24 hours. He's had 6 procedures, 15 blood transfusions. Randy has been in the ICU since September 29th, 17 days. And sadly, I hoped I had good news for you, but the doctors still do not know what is going on with him. This was a post on Randy's Rescue Ranch. Please keep sending your prayers. Our thoughts and prayers go off to our dear friend. We love Randy, and he was crying in that video, asking for people to donate blood. Again, if you are O negative. His babies at the ranch, his wonderful fur babies, miss him, and of course he misses his kids. So Randy, I hope they are able to find out something soon. He keeps bleeding, and again, these blood transfusions, I can't believe what he is going through. Such an incredible human being, and he's done so much for our area. All right, it is 7:15. We're going to take our break, and when we come back, we're going to talk to 2 incredible women as we talk about mind, body, soul, nutrition, health coaching, medium, tarot card readings, all of that coming up as Lindsey and Cristy join me in the blue chair.
I'm excited to announce my all-new mattress topper. In the times we're in, I wanted to bring you the best affordable mattress topper ever. So I took my two best technologies and combined them to make the ultimate mattress topper. And now you can get it for as low as $69.98. Queen size only $99.98. It all starts with my famous MyPillow foam that provides you that overall full body support. Second is the individual comfort supports that give you an amazing custom sleep experience. It's like it's made specifically for you. The queen size alone has over 14,000 comfort supports. This is the perfect mattress topper to improve any bed. New bed, old bed, your guest beds. Get them for every bedroom in your house. Go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get the all-new My Mattress Topper for as low as $69.98. Queen size only $99.98. Don't delay. Order today.
Discover your full potential with a personalized styling experience. Designing, customizing, and transforming the looks of men and women. Revamp your individual style and embrace what makes you, you. That's real confidence.
And welcome back. It is 7:17. We're all talking about what the energy we feel in the room. It's a good one today. Always when people come walking into our office, that's what we want. We want them to feel that this is a safe space, that warmth. And when we designed the studio, which, by the way, I hope a lot of you get a chance to be interviewed on our show, that you'll feel that same energy that we are providing to the world. Cristy Kuyath and Lindsey Egan are my guests. We're talking about Cristiana Rose and Illuminate Health and Wellness, mind, body, soul, nutrition, following your dreams, following the path to your passion, having this gift at a very young age. We've got so much to talk about. Let's just get to it. Cristy and Lindsey, my guest, how are you?
Good. Thank you so much for having us here.
You are very welcome.
Hi. I'm excited to be here.
They're both so excited. Okay, so let's just start and give a little background on both of them and their path to where they are today. I met Lindsey just a handful of months ago. What was that, back in March?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So back in March at an event that myself and my dear friend Sally Drake put on. It was a women's retreat that was held in Innsbruck, and Lindsey came in with your sister and some friends, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And the interesting thing is, and this is when we always talk about, do you follow paths that are leading you, or do you resist? You were wondering, well, should I go to this? Do I want to put the expense out? What will I get out of it, right? There was this tug back and forth that finally you said, okay, I'm going to go to it. And a lot of things changed from that point on, right?
Yes, so much. It's been amazing.
So we're going to talk about your path to health coaching, and we'll talk about a really incredible opportunity for you to be health coached by her that she'll be starting very soon. You've had this idea, though, that is not just right around the corner, just a handful of months ago. You're saying at least a decade ago,
Oh, yes.
you knew?
10 years I've been thinking
So talk about
it.
that.
So, I mean, I have just loved health and wellness and nutrition for my entire life. And it was probably in my early 30s that I just really got on this path to self-improvement and self-help. And I started working out with a personal trainer who really inspired me and motivated me. And I really just wanted to know more, like what were the foods that would make us feel best and give us the most energy and just fuel us for those workouts and for our life. And so I thought about health coaching, but I always, there was always something else in the way, or, it wasn't important enough, or just didn't follow that little like God wink, I always call it, until just more recently that I just kind of hit a point where I'm like, I have to do something that fuels me and inspires me, or I'm going to like burst,
Right.
So.
That's an interesting thing to say, because I think when you finally have that, and I think a lot of you will understand this, if you're going through the motions of life, and I really mean that, if you are just feeling like, here we go again, I'm waking up in the morning, I dread going into work, and then I come home and my personal life is all disheveled. If that's how you're living, we talked about this yesterday, and I told you this would be a really powerful week, because that is not how we're supposed to be operating, right? We should be the best versions of ourselves. And a lot of what you're going to see on these shows in weeks and months to come is with great people that are trying to get you to that. So not only did you have that tug 10 years ago, but you also have a husband who's very into health, but his is more on the fitness personal training side, but also tied to nutrition. Your true passion is nutrition, right?
I love the nutrition part. Yes, because I always would ask my personal trainer, what do you eat? I wanted to know exactly what she was eating, but there's just so much more to learn than like what someone else is eating. You have to know what fuels your body. And it's just, I love learning about it more than anything, really. My husband knows a lot. He has more of a scientific, like nutrition kind of background. But, I just absolutely love it.
And there is her beautiful family, by the way. You want to give a shout out to your husband and
that's
kids?
my husband, Corey, and my 3 darling little kids. It's Olivia, Jack, and Hank, and we're in Florida in that picture. But yes, they're everything to me.
How proud are they of you for following your passion?
They're so proud. And, it was talking with you that when I was kind of trying to push myself, I got the nutrition certification, but it was getting out there and becoming a coach and making it a reality. And you had even said, wouldn't your kids be so proud of seeing their mom go to work and do something that they're really passionate about, and it inspires them every single day. And so they fuel me, and it does make me so proud to say, to my daughter Olivia, like, I have an event tonight. I'm going to go speak in front of a bunch of women. This is my business. That just means a lot.
Absolutely, and you're a role model to them. We always talk about kids watching and like little sponges, seeing you light up. They should see a shifting pattern in you of how happy mom is to be following her passion, following her dreams, and changing lives. We'll come back to why nutrition is such a passion to Lindsey. Again, Lindsey Egan, Illuminate Health and Wellness, and we'll give you all the information where you can follow her, socials, website, there you go, and as well get in touch with her for an event, actually a series of things that she has coming up to help you on that path if you have been struggling. All right, now we're going to shift a little bit. The two of you just recently met, and I do mean recently. So these beautiful friendships that form, you always have to hopefully be aware. There's a picture of the two of them at an event that I attended. Cristy Kuyath. Now, Cristy is with Cristiana Rose. We're going to talk about a gift that you have that you actually realized that you had at a pretty young age. You want to talk about that?
I did. So from the time I was tiny, I've always been able to connect to the other side. I would see my grandmother and my great-grandmother in spirit, and I would go, I'd be at the grocery store and I would see someone's angels with them. I've just always kind of been connected to, I guess, like that kind of other realm. And then as I got older, I would receive more downloads. I grew up in Southern California, so before there would be an earthquake, I would dream that my house was shaking.
Is anybody else getting chills right now? I'm going to have chills. I know it. This is entire interview. Don't you just sit there and go, what is she seeing?
Like,
are there people here?
You do have. So actually, before we came in here, we were talking, and I don't know a ton about your background, but I was like, she definitely has a grandmother with her I feel like she's connected to your maternal side. And then I'm not sure if your father is passed, but there is a gentleman who has actually been with me since yesterday that I think is connected to you.
Since I was 24, he's been gone.
See, there are my children.
Hang on, let's close this. Let's get deep into this. Hang on, let me go back to this. You never met your grandma or great-grandma, is that correct?
I've never met them, no.
Right, and so you were seeing things about both of them and describing a scarf.
So
a red scarf.
My grandma would come into my room at night, and then we would go to like her soul place, I guess is what you would call it, or heaven. And she showed me one time that she was knitting this red, what I thought was a scarf, and she wanted me to ask my mom about it. So I was little, and I woke up and I said, Mom, Grandma was showing me this red scarf she was knitting. I see her sitting there knitting this red scarf, and my mom's eyes got big, and she goes, oh my gosh, no, it wasn't a red scarf. It was a red sweater that she was knitting right before she passed away. So I don't know how you could ever know that because it's not something that we talked about around the dinner table at night. But for whatever reason, she wanted to make that connection to my mom.
And Cristy, people talk about, and I hadn't heard this. I mean, we have, most likely, you have heard of clairvoyance, but I heard someone the other day say the clairs. How many are there?
So I'm not even sure. I think there's about 5 that are main. So you have clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, which is you get like kind of what you were saying, the feeling.
I have a clair.
Yeah, claircognizant.
And it's not my clair flower shoes.
And the beautiful thing about this is that every single person has their own intuition, and it's
If they're
inside
open?
them. They are, and it's just about kind of training that muscle to be able to connect and open it up so that you're able to receive like synchronicities and signs, and your angels are always talking to you. So it's just kind of training that muscle.
Cristy, I'm going to introduce again, Cristy Kuyath, Cristiana Rose. So my mom will hear me talk about how my dad visits on a
Okay.
regular basis.
Yeah.
My dad showed up in Cabo and literally designed this for me.
Oh my
this
gosh.
dream of walking away from TV, walking to this bigger dream.
Yeah.
And it really came from him and from God, and my beliefs of faith. So you were mentioning the clairs again. Let's go through them slowly. So clairvoyance is
the just being able to see, or kind of what I was saying, connect to the spirits from the other side. There's claircognizant, where you just kind of know.
sensing.
And then that's clairsentience. That's where you feel.
Okay, so that's more of like the knowledge.
So claircognizant
Yes.
is just like if you are all of a sudden this just knowing pops into your brain. Like if you're walking down the street and all of a sudden you're like, I shouldn't turn that corner. That's your claircognizant kicking in. You just know.
And interesting. So we get warning signs, but we dismiss them
We do.
a lot of times.
Yeah.
I actually tell the story of the accident that I was in 3 years ago and how there were 3 things that had happened that I wish I would have paid attention to. I would have spoken my truth, would have said something about this is worrying me, this is worrying me, this is worrying me. I would have never gotten in the car. I would have never been in the position of the car if I had said something. So that's claircognizance.
That's claircognizance.
Okay.
There's also clairaudience, where you may hear things. So a lot of times when I'm doing readings for people, I'm seeing, I'm claircognizant. I'm also clairvoyant, but I'm also clairaudient, where I'm hearing what the loved one is saying.
Okay, so I had never heard of that. So then that's what happened to me in
You were
2022.
clairaudient.
My dad said, "Hi, Monica," and I hadn't heard his voice in 28 years. And I said, well, that's impossible. Is it impossible to have actually had the audio portion of that? So interesting. And I kept doing this, and everyone's like, yeah, you're doing outside.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what would be the 5th one?
So we have claircognizant, clairaudient, clairvoyance, clairsentience. Did we talk about that? That's the feeling
That's
that you
the
get
feeling.
the chills.
Okay.
I actually think that might be
That'd be it.
Yeah.
That's a lot of clairs, though, that I
Yeah.
think a lot of us didn't realize that we had. Anybody, by the way, I'm going to grab my phone. So if you have comments, aha moments, any questions about what she is going through, telling you, all the clairs, let us know if you feel like you've been through this. I also, though, want to address those that are non-believers, right?
Yeah.
We have to talk about that because there are so many people that say, oh, come on, there's no way. But I believe it is a gift. Absolutely believe it is a gift. So Marilyn says, hi, Lindsay. Great to see you. Prayers for Randy. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so we are on multiple platforms right now. We're on Facebook, YouTube, and X. And then Tia will be putting some reels and stories together from this show, which you'll also see on Instagram. You'll see on TikTok as well. So let's go back to the nutrition side. We're going to bounce back and forth between these two and connect our mind, body, soul. I saw you smiling, though. You two just recently met. How did that come about? And then you held an event that you just recently did in Kirkwood.
Yes, Cristy, I mean, through Instagram, we met. We just connected. I don't know who reached out to who first, but we just really just felt very connected and really just liked what each other was posting. And I think just from there, I went to your full moon event that you had this summer, and that was so much fun. Cristy has such a gift of just bringing so much calm and great energy, as you already probably have felt.
You can hear it in her
I mean, it's
voice.
amazing. I know, you can. I know, I'm like, can I have that good, calming voice? I'm going to try it a little bit better. But I was thinking in my head, I would love to do I've always wanted to do some sort of like healthy happy hour, just bring people together, doing something healthy, that wasn't revolving around like, so drinks and a bar and a restaurant, just good vibes. And I was thinking about doing something with Cristy, but I just had not even put it out there. I was too afraid, I think, to really take the next step and put things out there. And then she mentioned to me at her full moon event, would you like to get together and do some sort of like healthy event together? And it was just so crazy because I was thinking it as well. And then we reached out to Pooja at Blush in downtown Kirkwood.
Hi, Pooja.
Hi, Pooja. And when I went up to her to ask her about the event, she said she'd already been thinking about doing something with me. And it just was such a full circle moment. We had all been kind of thinking about each other, and we made it happen. So
Well,
it was
you
so much
mentioned
fun.
earlier, Lindsay, that there are God winks that happen. That's
Yes.
not a coincidence.
Yes.
When someone says, I've been thinking about you, I've been thinking about you. What is that, by the way, Cristy? When someone says, oh my gosh, I was just thinking about this person, and then they called.
The synchronicity is,
See?
it's true. It's everybody is connected. We're all connected. There's like a little web between you, me, Lindsay, the rest of the world. And when you receive a synchronicity like that, it's just kind of like a little nudge, a little God wink to be like, you're on the right path.
Because so many people say, oh, it's St. Louis. It's St. Louis. It's such a small place. And I'm like, well, is it really? Or is this what happens in the world? Because we started this show, and I didn't know probably a good 25% of the people that I've had on, right? Brand new people. Other people I've known in my 30 years in the business, but I've invited people on that someone had reached out to me, asked me to have this person on or that person. And then suddenly I'll have people in, they'll watch the promos and they'll go, oh, her or him or whatever. And I'm like, you know them? Yeah. How does everybody start to know each other? And I was like, it's been really crazy and beautiful at the same time.
Yeah.
That's that synchronicity.
It is synchronicity. We're all one. We're all connected.
Come on. We all believe that, don't we? We want to. I want to pull more positive people together. All right, we're going to take a break. If you have any questions or comments, or you want to know more about these beautiful ladies and what they can bring to your life, we're going to go a little bit deeper into the nutrition pull that Lindsay felt. And again, what finally made you leap? Because that's that word that we always love to use. Are you willing to leap and finally get what you've always deserved in life? All right, more with Lindsay and Cristy when we return.
Monica's show, it's very informational, but more importantly, inspirational.
People such as myself and others can come out and talk about real issues that are taking place in our communities.
These are amazing, really, really important topics that don't get discussed enough.
It really just promotes people who are making change and doing good in their lives.
Ooh, we've been talking about this we're talking about the calming aspect of life, right? We're also talking about taking care, and you want to have this gorgeous, glowing skin or just feel really so much better about yourself. Elemental Aesthetics, they're in Suite 206, as you saw, 425 North New Ballas Road. And Jennifer Warman-Bloss, who just came on with us about a month and a half ago, one of our newest sponsors. So welcome her, please, and make the call to go there for yourself. Or I know Marilyn was talking about having an entire group of girls go together. Yeah, do that. You can do IV hydration therapy, facials. They do lasers there. We were talking about IPL. Agnes is another treatment that I had never heard of, but Michelle actually did that, and she's going to come on with us next week with Jennifer and talk about that. So many levels, not just for the outside, but the inside as well. They do weight loss consultations, and maybe it's medical. Love that room. That is the Salt Room. And I've been mentioning, not only does it just feel calming and beautiful when you sit in there, but it's what they pipe into the room that is good for you, the salt therapy. And then there's Jennifer pointing to what a lot of you have probably been researching, which is red light therapy, but not just red. They also have purple. You can change it to blue and purple, all these different things. And nails. I need to get my nails done by the ladies there at Elemental Aesthetics. So again, wonderful place, and we cannot thank her enough for being a part of our show. Looking forward to hearing all about Agnes next week. Elemental Aesthetics, again, it is Suite 206, 425 North New Ballas Road. Call them, or you can also go online to set up your treatment, 314-279-6069. Welcome back. It is 7:35. I'm your host, Monica Adams. The show is The Real Monica Adams, and we have our guests, Lindsey Egan and Cristy Kuyath. Lindsay opened up her health coaching, Illuminate Health and Wellness, and Cristy is with Cristiana Rose. So let's first of all tell you where you can find them, straight out of the gate, right? So Illuminate Health and Wellness, where's the best place for them to follow you and find out more about what you're doing?
Instagram or Facebook are the best, and on the very the very beginning of my Instagram page, there's a little tag or pin where my phone number is even on there. So reach out, messages, any way you want to reach out. Love to talk to you.
And there is the phone number, by the way, 314-610-7138.
640. That
64?
probably was my typo.
Oh, no. Okay, let's take it off the screen. So it's 314-640?
Yes.
All right, take that off the screen. She's like, uh-oh, I messed up. Okay, so give it to us one more time. 314-640?
7138.
7138. 640-7138. Again, Illuminate Health and Wellness. And we'll stay on this for just a second. You've got something coming up that you're starting.
Yes.
And you've been getting that information out there. Some of you maybe even had a chance to get the early bird pricing that was on October 1st. But it's going to be how many weeks?
It's 5 weeks long. It's starting October.
And you even get to go on a little shopping spree.
Yes, it's going to be so much fun. So it's 5 weeks long. It's starting October 23rd. And I have some really amazing women signed up so far. It's at Taleo Coffee, so all the information's on the screen right now. We're just going to have the best time. We're the first session. We're going to really do a deep dive in nutrition and talk about all the foods that are going to set you up for success and really fuel you and make you feel your best, what foods work and what foods do not. We're going to learn all about it. You can ask me anything. It's going to be in a really small, safe, comfortable environment. And then the second week, we're going to go to the grocery store together. And I'm so excited about that. It's really my favorite thing to do. I love to I love to shop. And so grocery shopping is like right up there with, clothes shopping. But I'll go through the whole grocery store and we'll talk about all the foods that work with us, the perimeter. We all have heard shop the perimeter.
Yes.
But it's really those inside aisles that are the most confusing, I think. So we're going to go through all those inside aisles, talk about the foods that, whoever's with me, whatever they kind of gravitate to and like. I want to help them find the best brands for their body with the least amount of junk in that nutrition label. And then the last 3 sessions will be at Taleo Coffee. And we're going to learn so much. We're going to keep talking about health and nutrition. I really want to set people up to have a really healthy holiday season. And I think this will just jumpstart it. You're going to be feeling good and motivated. That's my main goal. I really just want to help women, know what foods support them, and I really want to help women thrive and live their best life. So they don't have to think so hard about food. They can just know what supports them, they can feel their best, and they can go on and do whatever it is in life that supports them and makes them super excited. So the last 3 sessions will be about food, of course, but also mind, body, soul work. So we're going to talk about sleep and exercise and do a lot of like affirmation, self-love kind of work, just all the things that it's a full circle. Nutrition is just one part of the puzzle, and it's everything else too. So we're going to talk all about everything.
And again, that's her passion. You can just feel it just ooze out of her. And that's the thing about health coaching, and that it can take you in so many ways. I've been doing this for 26 years as a trainer, as a director of wellness. I wrote nutrition programs ad nauseum for people and finally said, I've got so much to do in life that I want to hand off. I literally said, are you ready? I believe in you. I'm going to come back to the story about how you and I really connected on this and how it led you to that. But it is really almost like people are looking for permission, permission to go ahead and have the best life. And if you are waiting for that, you're going to have to start listening to others around you because they do believe in you. Tia, I have a comment coming in. Is that right? Okay, so let's go back. Was it the one from Maryland? Okay, proof in the pudding. If you do not put yourself out there, look at the opportunities, the connections, and the friendships that you would miss. You need to make life happen, not wait for your life to unfold. Lindsay, she says, I'm so I just want to congratulate you. I don't know if the two of you met. She's with State Farm.
Yes.
Okay, yes. So they were all at our 400th celebration. Okay, so Rose says, Lindsay, nutrition is everything. It affects every part of your body. When I eat bad, my health issues heighten. You are what you eat. We talk a lot about gut health. Jenny said, hey, my Egan sister, you're so beautiful. Rose, I never feel or see or have any signs of my loved ones who are gone. I always wonder why others do, but not me. This is what I wanted to get back into. But what I'm good at is meeting someone or just looking at their photo and knowing what kind of person they are. Great judge of character. Even just looking at a stranger, I'm usually right when I get to know them. It's wild. What would you say about that? What is that?
So Rose is claircognizant. So she is able to just know things by looking at somebody, or maybe she's even empathic where she's actually tapping into their energy. If she's wanting to connect to her angels, her guides, or her ancestors, all she really needs to do is just learn to sit quietly and ask for signs, because they're there, they're waiting, they're wanting to connect to you. But sometimes we're so busy looking for the signs that we miss it.
That's the question I was going to have, Cristy, because here's what has happened. My mom has always said to me, how come Dad always visits you? I want him to visit me. And I said, he probably has, but you're missing it because you were seeking it so hard. Is that correct? Is that the right answer?
That could be. And your dad, for whatever reason, I don't know if he was like a pipe smoker or smoked cigars, but I do feel like there's a certain smell that will happen in your mom's house. And that is him. It's almost his way of connecting to her and being like, I'm here. And for whatever reason, I also kept hearing like "You Are My Sunshine," that song, as I was driving, and I feel like that's connected to you too. So it's almost like he's saying like, "You are my sunshine girl." He feels like this big teddy bear energy where he's kind of like strong on the outside, but inside he's just like this big softy. But I think just if she kind of steps back and gets quiet and asks him for a sign, you can get specific too. You can say like, I want to see a yellow butterfly before I go to bed at night, and say that out loud, and then I promise you, you will see it.
He is around all the time in the form of a butterfly, and she will say, and see, that's why I was like, well, Mom, he is here, because she'll see a butterfly and she'll say, hi, Miles, and I'll say, there he is. But she wants it to go as deep as, I have gone very deep in my connection with him. She told us something at the break, if you're willing to say it.
Yeah.
So you saw this yesterday? Or today, you saw the description kind of, or the playing out of the accident.
So when you were speaking about the accident that you went through, I saw you in the car, and I saw it almost like turning as if, I don't know if you were on the highway or where you were, but almost like you were going to hit a guardrail. And I saw your dad literally come in and like turn the car the other way. And so you were able to be divinely protected.
Okay, so here's what happened, and I have never told the story on air. I've told it to a handful of people off air. The accident happened we weren't on a highway, we were kind of adjacent to a main thoroughfare on a neighborhood road, and we did leave the road. We spun around. There are so many things that I believe were he and God holding us very divinely, so that one, we didn't end up in a body of water head down, which we would have never survived. The other was just past the tree that we ran into was a guardrail, and we would have ended up down.
Yeah.
And
you stopped it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, now I have chills.
Do you all? Do you all, by the way? Yes. So I asked Cristy to come in and also bring some cards with her, which we're going to do. So wait for that. But I also want to talk about a story that happened from something you told a babysitter when you were younger.
Yes.
This is going to blow your mind.
So I had a babysitter who would come. My mom was a voice teacher, so she would watch me when my mom was teaching. And she was a high school student, and she and my mom were talking, and I ran into the room, and I announced that she had a baby girl in her belly.
And how old was the babysitter?
Probably 17.
Yeah,
No,
wait a
obviously
minute. That's not
planning.
right? No.
No, not planning for a baby, but she was actually pregnant, and it was a little girl.
And she hadn't told anyone?
She didn't even know yet.
Oh, okay. That's amazing, right?
Yeah.
So you started to follow this and see this. And what happened? Because I wanted to get into this, because there are some people, no matter what we do today, that you're still not going to believe, or you're going to be like, that's just a coincidence. These are obviously not coincidences. But again, it depends on where you want to fall on this, of whether I believe, I'm sure Lindsey believes, Tia's in here, like, can I please sit in here because I want to hear all of this? If you don't, that's fine. I mean, you can ask questions about this. But when did you start saying, I do have a gift and I want to follow the gift?
So I've always just been connected to that side of me. When I decided, so I'm also a Reiki master, and in 2012, I became certified as a Reiki practitioner, so I can't speak. And during that time, the channel inside of me just opened up even more, and I started receiving more and more downloads. And then when I became a Reiki master, which is like your third certification, there was no way to stop it. I just was receiving download after download, and I decided, wouldn't it be amazing if I could combine my energy work with my channeling ability, so that you're kind of receiving a full-rounded experience with me. When you come to balance that energy inside of you, you will also receive messages from your angels or your guides and your loved ones who have passed.
For those of you that don't know what Reiki is, can you explain that to them?
So Reiki is an ancient healing modality. Rei is a Japanese word. It means soul or universe, and then key is life force energy, so it means universal life force energy. We are all made up of energy. Your organs have its own frequency, your thoughts have their own frequency, and during a Reiki session, I basically am able to maneuver the energy, the life force energy, through you, all your different energetic meridians, and balance and bring harmony back to your energetic system.
And we are talking about really that aspect, kind of like what we discussed yesterday, of the eastern side of medicine, centuries old medicine that some of you may have never introduced yourself to. So you have been doing this now for how long?
Since
putting all of it together.
2012. So 2 years ago is when I decided to, my kids were a little bit older, and I was like, I'm going to just make this my job. I just want to be able to help as many people as I can to feel balanced. And if I can just kind of bring some peace to their hearts, like that is all, that's all I can ask for.
Mm-hmm. So the Reiki aspect, again, as the practitioner 2012, the Reiki master in 2020?
2022.
2022. Again, but putting all of this together. So let's give all the information, by the way, of where you can find Cristiana Rose. You can go online to her website, CristianaRose.com, and then you can also email her. You want to go beyond this and ask her some questions and set up maybe a session for yourself. ChristyK30@gmail.com. All right, I'm popping back and forth between these two ladies. I'm going to talk about our guiding, and she's going to probably tell us that didn't happen just by accident, right? I would actually be very interested to see what you thought happened back in March. Yeah. We're going to take a quick break. We have more with Lindsey and Cristy. Are you getting fired up? Are you getting excited? Anything really just opening up your senses? Drop it in the comments for us now when you're live, or if you're heading off to work, please be careful. Both hands on the wheel. Just go ahead and type it in later as you share and like and follow our live streams. And let's just spread this so we can affect so many here and outside of our area. We'll have more of The Real Monica Adams Show when we return. Everyone knows about Jody's balls, and why is that?
I have the best ball.
Oh my God. Wait.
Yes.
Okay, you just heard me say we've got a freeze warning. Some of you in the outlying areas might hit freezing or even below that. So yes, it has been probably for the last few days time for you to make the decision to close that up. I know it's hard. My husband just closed ours about a week and a half ago, and he's like, Monica, sorry, I'm going to start doing something that you don't like every year, and that is closing the pool. Thank you for doing that, honey, by the way. If you want to leave it to the pros, Just Pools, the pool and spa specialist, can do that for you. If you are going to do it yourself, they have 10% off the winterizing kits right now, and then 50% off all those fun things. I can't tell you that the shelves are that packed anymore because we've been talking about while they last. So if you want to get ready for next year, and spring will be here before we know it, time to open them back up again. You want to have all those fun toys. The kids are going to want to jump in right away. You want to give them those big noodles or the little flotation devices. You have 50% off of all those right now, and then we're making room for all those gorgeous hot tubs. Let's talk about the fact that that's not all about luxury. In fact, I am a big proponent of you getting into spas for the therapeutic aspect of it all. So Just Pools is what I want you to support those that support us. And if you do have a pool, by the way, and you want to add on to the pool, you can add new steps, maybe a slide, a diving board, those water features, fire features, the new rock features. Just Pools, pool and spa specialist, located at 3987 West Outer Road South in Arnold, and their phone number is 636-464-7110. Welcome back to our show. Our guest again, Lindsey Egan and Cristy Kuyath, Illuminate Health and Wellness, and Cristiana Rose. So if you have a question or a comment for them, let us know. So Dr. Alethea, who we had on yesterday, is your cousin?
Yes.
I'm telling you, when I tell you, I can't believe how we're all connected. This is crazy. Cristy, you said that I am what for Lindsey?
You are her expander.
What does that mean?
I feel like you have been brought into her life to help her kind of expand her own soul growth. So
Interesting.
Yeah.
Feel it.
Okay, and Lindsay says she can feel it. So here's the thing. When you and I met in March at this retreat, I obviously wanted to be there for my friend, always wanting to be there to lift my friend up. And so Sally Drake was holding this retreat, which she holds several great ones, by the way. One coming up this weekend that I cannot attend because I am emceeing the Yuppie Puppy Gala. Otherwise, I would have been there for her for this. I went to that one, gathering in, meeting a bunch of beautiful brand new souls, seeking out so much for themselves. And I turn my head and I see Lindsay, her sister Lexi, and some other friends come in. Obviously, you can tell she's beautiful. So I was like, oh my gosh, what a pretty girl. But it went way beyond that. And I thought, so she is the person I think I'm supposed to be here to meet. She says the same thing. And actually, when I started talking, she started really getting emotional. And I kept thinking, okay, come here, let's hug each other. We kept hugging the entire weekend. And I just felt like, what is it that I'm talking about that's moving her to so much emotion? What was that was playing out?
So before your soul comes back to the earth, when you are up in your soul place or wherever you believe you are before you're born, you create contracts with people. So I feel like your soul and your soul created a contract so that you will meet someday, so that again you can help her kind of expand her soul journey.
Beautiful. So yes, what we ended up, and she started talking to me and she's like, trust me, Monday morning I'm calling you immediately because I want to go through some life coaching. And I said, oh, well, great. I wonder what we're going to talk about. And it really was, there's so much more that I want to do in my life that has to do with helping others.
Yes.
So we started exploring health coaching. You actually have a person that you've been following, a lot of great authors, but this particular person, you wanted to go through his program a year ago. You want to talk about that?
Mark's son is his name, and he's kind of like probably the father of paleo. And he just has he's just a super healthy, empowering person. And he wrote a book called Primal Blueprint. I read that probably 10 years ago. It's a huge book, but it's like this thick, and I loved it. And he offered a health coaching certification online. And I had been looking at this certification for years before I decided just to take the plunge and buy that program. But it's kind of paleo-ish. I mean, it's primal way of eating. So it's really just eating whole, real foods. It's nothing that we haven't heard of before, which I love. Like, I don't want to teach people to do something crazy. It's just about eating whole, nutritional foods that are real.
Right.
But just learning deeper about them and what they do to our body, and then what the foods that don't work for us do to our body as well.
So you went through his program, and when you and I met, you were just wrapping it up.
Yes.
And then it became, but Monica, I'm scared. And Cristy I love, weigh in on this. There are too many people in life that get scared, they stunt their growth, they never ever follow the path.
Yes.
You knew, I mean, literally you could taste it. That's how I could feel that in you, how much you wanted to do it. And so I believed in you, and I said this earlier. I believed in you, somebody that I literally just met, but I might chill. I felt it in you of, you've got to do this.
Oh, yeah.
I know, but I'm scared. How do I even get started? And I said, I'm going to give you 2 of my clients immediately. And she's like, what? I'm scared. And I said, great, because I always say this, and I want to be remembered for this quote. The greatest gifts in life come from the most uncomfortable places.
Yes.
And there it is, head to toe chills when I just said that for you. Is that how you have felt since
100%.
you got out of your comfort zone?
Yes. I mean, and I've loved some books I've also read along the way, like while we're talking with you, or Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, which the title just sums up what it means. It's like, feel it and go do it. And then I also love another book called Manifest by Roxy Nafusi. And it's all about how fear and doubt are going to be alongside us this whole way through. But you've got to push through it, and you've got to believe in yourself and take that leap. And you helped me do that. I mean, I was scared with meeting my first clients, but after you do it, you gain so much confidence, and you realize, oh my gosh, I can do it. And that's what I want to help other people do. With food and healthy lifestyle, once you get through something, you're so empowered.
Well, I could see you already doing it as if you already were. And it was, you just got to get going, because there are so many things that will hold you back from ever doing it. How many people have you talked to in your own path where they have said, I should have done this 10 years ago, 20 years ago? It's never too late, though.
It's never too late. And there really are no wrong mistakes. It's just different curves and twists for you to take down your path until you get to the destination that you're meant to be in. And I think you're right. Like when you find that flow, that thing inside of you that lights you up, like I can see when you talk about your life coaching or when you talk about your nutrition, your auras literally glow. And that's like your sign that you are on the right path. And so just don't give up. Keep going.
Absolutely. And again, whether it is you constantly believing in yourself and others don't, there are a lot of people, and some of you know who I'm talking to, others that I've never met are probably going to say, Monica's talking literally about me. You will have people around you that will say, don't do this. Why would you do this? They will literally try to stop you in your tracks. Have you experienced that before? A lot of people have. It could be with your job. It could be with a spouse, a partner, someone you want to date. It could be with you wanting better for yourself, but they want you to be stuck, I say that, in the space that you are in with them because they're jealous, they're envious, they're not ready to take on what they really are meant to take on. They don't want that for you. Well, you got to find some new people. You got to find a new tribe. Rose said, I cleaned for a psychic at an early age, Cristy. I was having a bad day. She offered to give me a reading. She read that I was going to marry a younger man with blonde hair who shared my birth month. Also saw someone very close to me going through cancer. It was my mother. Never thought about it as I got older, but my husband is younger than me, has blonde hair, and is born the same month I am. People said, quote, that's too general, Rose. I didn't think so, although she asked me when I was off the following week, and I replied, you tell me.
I mean, it's hard for people to kind of wrap their minds around something that is not tangible. And, you know, psychic, your intuition, it's not tangible. You can't, necessarily prove it. But how can you disprove the fact that she married somebody younger and that she knew that her mother was going to have cancer? To me, that seems pretty specific.
Why do people not want to believe?
I think it's hard sometimes to maybe know that you're not always in control, that maybe the universe also has a co-part in this creation that we're creating. I'm not sure, but I think that if people were to open their hearts a little bit more, then they would receive so many incredible just synchronicities and other connections that are just going to guide them along their path.
Heart-centric work, it's called. We do, a friend of mine in Canada, we were every month doing Cultivating a Vision, these incredible workshops. We paused throughout the summer. We were going to try to pick those back up, and I just saw her call actually while I was on the air, so she's probably saying, hey, we got to get back to work. I have a Feel the Authenticity workshop that I'm going to hold on December 8th. We are going to put the tickets on sale probably in about a week and a half, right near the end of the month. So a gift to yourself, and I do say a gift to yourself. You want to talk about some of the hardest work you've probably ever done on yourself. It's going to take place in this day. We're saying 2 hours. If it goes a little bit longer, it's fine. It's December 8th. It's a Sunday from 1 to 3, and we're going to have some healthy food, some healthy drinks, and we're going to explore all of the things that make you real and authentic, which is the first thing that you have to be. Take the filters off, take it all off, and expose yourself and get raw. Watch what happens when that happens. Marilyn said, I so agree, ladies. That's a new descriptor for Monica, expander. So true, she says, and she loves it. Rose, you three ladies improve people's souls and minds. We all have value. Yes, right there. Say it says, know your value. Marilyn says, so excited for Lindsey. Illuminate Health and Wellness. Yes, you can find both of them. Stephanie said, when I met Bob, I found out he was left-handed and had the same middle name as my dad. Stephanie, again, all of these things are not just by chance. Okay, I'm going to take a break. We're going to do this tarot card reading?
Yes.
We're going to do one for me, but then you can also do one for maybe someone watching?
We can do one for someone watching, or if you want to do a collective one for just the energy of all your followers, we can do that too.
Yeah, let's do that, because I like to include everyone, my staff and all of you that are watching now, or maybe you watch later and say, oh, that was for me. Okay, that's coming up. We're with Cristiana Rose is where you can find her online, and we're going to find out more about what she pulls for me and pulls for you when we return.
She's a special woman and done so much for St. Louis.
Watching her work is one of the most incredible things you can see.
She just sees value in everyone.
Sometimes people just need you to
sit with them and hear them. I feel heard.
The time flew by, and it was like sitting and talking to a friend.
Not only creating a better place here in St. Louis, but to inspire others. It's always great to have examples like you.
You have such a light and such a presence, and I could feel it this morning.
We knew right away when you started this, we wanted to be on your show. Thanks for having us.
And I look forward to seeing how you rock and roll and shake it up.
So that last person is truly a mentor of mine in life. Tom Tesserow, if you haven't seen, what an incredible interview that was. Tom is with the Healing Arts Center. Okay, do you by chance know Tom, Cristy?
I feel like I listened to that episode that you did with him.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
Yes. So behind the ladies, by the way, that is from him. And just everything. I literally have told him he's the most beautiful human being I've ever met in my life. So if you were in his presence, I felt like I was standing in front of God. It is literally that kind of draw that he has. He did biosacral work on me. They do obviously a lot of healing modalities. So we're talking with Cristy. What do friends call you? Cristy?
So my friends all call me Cristy. I think my father is the only one who calls me Cristiana.
Cristiana. Is it Cristiana Rose is your middle name?
Is, yes.
There you go. So there's where it came from. CristianaRose.com. Cristy Kuyath. And we're going to do this tarot reading. But before we do so, there's nothing about her that doesn't calm you. Okay? But this is interesting because you had really bad anxiety, didn't you?
I was so nervous. Actually, I'm still nervous. Like if you can see my hands are shaking.
Hold my hand. You're okay. But you had really bad anxiety, which is interesting because people can feel your calming presence come across in the air, would probably never think that.
Yeah.
So if they have anxiety, they have depression, we can always overcome.
Yes. In fact, I got into Reiki because I had such bad anxiety. I was a teenager having panic attacks. I couldn't live a normal teenage life. And I went to a Reiki master for my first session, and it literally transformed my life.
So if you think that was just by chance, I don't. It was lead you to this, and you will eventually become the student to the master. I mean, was it a beautiful walk of life that she has gone from? You do free Monday energy readings every Monday?
I do every Monday on my Instagram, which is Cristiana Rose Does Readings.
Mm-hmm.
I do free energy readings of the week. So we'll pull cards. Sometimes I will channel a message. If I do it live, sometimes you will also get a chance to ask your question. So it's a lot of fun.
And we're going to do a tarot reading here in just a second for myself and for all of us collectively. So she also does soul sessions, Reiki, tarot readings, mediumship readings, tarot parties. How cool is that? Reiki and tarot events, chakra readings, and meditations. And we talk a lot about meditations on this show. And really it's that stressor, anxiety, all the things that make people, we talked about this with Dr. Alethea yesterday, transferring the breathing from here to the deep belly breathing just to bring you back to, and it not only does it help the aspect of calmness, but it's everything else in the body being off and that fight or flight feeling. And what it can do from a health standpoint, stress and what that all causes. We talked about that yesterday. Well, I'm sure we'll talk about it a lot in the coming weeks. Okay, let's do this, and then we're going to go back talking to Lindsey about Illuminate Health and Wellness and other things that she can do for you, and tell you again about what's coming up in October 23rd. You're kicking it off?
Yes.
Yes, we'll show you that at the end of the show as well. All right, let's do this. Okay. Let's do for them first.
So, this is
or actually, I don't want to tell you how to do your job.
Yeah. Do you want to do the collective first?
Yes,
okay,
I like
so
to do.
Let's
do them, and then you can do me.
So I'm going to tap into the energy of everybody who is watching right now or who will watch this in the future. What do they need to know? What message would be healing for them to know for the remainder of this week? Oh, this one wanted to fall out.
So it chose itself?
It did.
We're doing a tarot card reading, something we've never done on this show in the last year and a half. So you feel that? I'm going to have her, let her do this, and then we'll get back in front of the microphone. I don't want to talk to her while she's doing that. Okay.
So the collective, your followers got Judgment and also the Page of Swords. So Judgment is the one that actually kind of popped out as I was shuffling. So contracts may be closing, cycles may be ending. Judgment is also, this is going to give me chills because I feel like it is specifically for what we've been talking about. It's a soul calling. So some of you may be having a soul calling, meaning that you are really stepping into the work that you have been born into, that you are meant to do. A Page of Swords is a message or a new beginning where it's really going to have to shift your mindset and how you're thinking about maybe this soul calling. So if you have anybody who's listening who was like, that's not for me, my heart is calling me in this direction, but I feel like I can't do it, set that aside and just know that you're just going to have to kind of shift how you are viewing this dream of yours in order for you to make it a reality.
Okay, anybody that really connect with you, again, whether you're watching live right now and we're on Facebook, YouTube, X, I will look at the comments and questions in those a little bit later. If you watch later, be sure to hashtag replay and let us know. I would love if you all of a sudden say, that spoke to me, Monica, and here's why. Again, I always talk about being as raw and real as possible, because when you are, others get a little boost from you. Okay, let's do mine.
Okay, so Monica, I'm going
I
to
get
have
to pick?
you hold the cards.
Oh, I get to hold the cards.
So just hold on.
Interactive.
And you can shuffle a couple of times.
Oh, like
and
this?
there's no right or wrong way to shuffle.
Card party. Suddenly going to a casino. Look, we always look for permission. We're always looking for, am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? She said there's no right or wrong. Is that good, or do I need to do it more?
That's perfect. Yep, it's just, you're just infusing your energy into the cards right now.
Using my energy, okay.
Yeah. Okay, and hopefully you can reach. I'm going to have you choose the card. Whichever card is just kind of jumping out to you that you feel drawn to, that's the card that's for you. And yeah, you got it right. Your left hand is choosing from your soul. Your right would be choosing from your mind.
Oh, interesting, because I am right-handed, but right now from the way I'm sitting, but that was meant to be.
Yeah,
this is from my soul.
So this must mean
left side
your soul.
choosing from your soul, right side choosing from your mind.
So it's so your non-dominant side is your soul side, and that would be like if it's a soul message from like your angels probably, and then your right side would be if you have a very specific question, it's kind of like your business brain, then you would draw from your right.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, Monica. You got the Page of Swords.
What's that mean?
So we just had that card.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought you just did swords.
There's a new beginning that is happening for you that is going to completely change or shift how you view the world. There could be somebody coming in who's going to be offering you an opportunity, and it's really going to allow your mind and your whole soul to grow in a way that you didn't expect. So kind of expect the unexpected, but somebody's coming in to offer you an opportunity that's going to be really, really good for
so I shouldn't say
soul.
no to this?
Don't say no.
How real do I get with all of you?
For some reason, I feel May too is when it would be like happening. So I don't know if you are going to be meeting somebody. To me, he feels like a man we're channeling now. And I feel like he's going to be offering you an opportunity that's going to expand. To me, it feels like business in a way that you're able to help others. So I don't know if like you would even be interested in hosting your own retreat, but I feel like May would be a time where I see you almost like outside with like a group of women, really more like empowerment. So look for this man, because I feel like January is going to come into your life.
Okay, so there's a handful of things. So if you're just tuning in, Cristy Kuyath and Lindsey Egan are my guests from Cristiana Rose and Illuminate Health and Wellness. I just came back from a trip. I'm getting ready to go on another one. It's a business trip, and it absolutely, and I'm just going to put it out there, so we might as well just put it out right now since she's giving me the gift of permission. I am going on a business trip to Europe, somewhere I've always wanted to go. We're going to Italy, and I say we because my husband's coming along with me. It would be something that I want to get him involved with as he eventually retires from being one of our heroes as a first responder. I want to heal those first responders. I've always wanted to help our heroes. I want him to have a level of this, and this is really what I'm visualizing and dreaming. But the people who have invited us to come to Italy, more of we say Piedmont, but I think if you're Italian, it's Piemonte, Italy, as well. Since I'm so big into fashion, I have to tack on Milan to that. So we're going to Milan, and then we're going to Turin and the Piedmont region. It is absolutely, positively for me to design the wellness side of a retreat to their culinary side.
Yeah.
There's a man involved in it, but it's a man and woman together, and it is a couple that I greatly have huge admiration for. And for those of you who have been to a retreat of mine, which we held two at their location, it is the people with Le Champ de Flore at Stone Suit Cottage. I've held local retreats, but we want to take it to that larger level. So when I come back from this, you'll hear me talking a lot about what we are going to be designing and to bring you all along on
I
this.
can't wait to hear.
Does that give you a chill?
It does. It totally.
You haven't heard me talk about it yet, everybody.
Chills.
I also, at 10:23 yesterday, actually, I'm sorry, she wrote me on Saturday and I didn't see it until yesterday. I got an invitation from a friend of mine saying that she was putting together an anthology book with 25 women and wanted to send me information to be one of the authors.
Congratulations.
I have been writing a book for a long time that I have said needs to be finished. And 2025 is my goal to finally put that out to the world. It has been in the making for probably over 15 years. I did not ever feel like it was meant to be out yet until now. I wrote about 5 chapters when I was in Cabo San Lucas. I am feeling drawn to it. And when I was coming back on my trip, I was flying on Southwest, and they have those cocktail napkins that say, every great dream begins on a napkin.
Yeah.
I never drew on it. As I flew there, I kept looking at it. As I was flying back, I kept being drawn to this napkin like, I've flown Southwest before. Why am I looking at this? So you tell me why this was such a pull. When I turned it over, I started to draw a line with my finger as if it was the pen, and looked at my own triangle. At the top of the triangle, kept saying, book. On the top was the book. On the bottom right of the triangle was network. Either networking or like network TV. And then on the left was speak. Speak like you've never spoke before. Get in front of massive audiences.
Yeah.
Does any of that resonate with you, of you and I connecting?
Absolutely. I feel like you're definitely following your soul calling. And I think that your soul recognized that this is something that you are meant to do so that you can go out. Like, to me, it feels like a web where it starts with you, and then you almost like, it's like you're sending out healing to other people and other women through what you do and through the lessons that you've learned. And now's the time.
Now is the time.
Yeah.
It's about time, isn't it? Marilyn, I feel I am going to be a late bloomer. I am looking for my next chapter in my life. I guess I need to do meditation. I feel I sit quiet many times a week, but my thoughts are foggy and no clarity.
So the type of meditation that I do when I lead meditations is a guided meditation. And a lot of times people, I feel like, are put off by meditations because who can sit in silent for 10 minutes? You know, our brains are always going. But when you are doing a guided meditation, you're kind of able to get into that theta state just by listening to my voice. But your brain is able to focus in on the visualizations as I guide you through the meditation. So try it. My advice would be to try a guided meditation. Yes. YouTube has tons of them.
Right, and so many people, I think, Cristy, they try to go at it alone, and they feel like they fail. And I think guided is the best. And there's so many out there to find the one that works for you. Rose said that Lindsey reminds her of Dot, who does Friendship Fridays with us. I can see that, absolutely. Let's see, any other comments that I'm missing? Is that part of Italy that Jim is from? He's actually from Sicily, which is where Michelle is, and she'll be tuning in. Or if you tune in tomorrow, she will be joining us. It is exciting, right? I would love to do something in Sicily. That is a spam. That's spam. People try to jump in and try to bogart.
Oh, my gosh.
I know, right? Isn't it crazy? Okay, we're going to come back. Yes, I want another Monica retreat. It's coming, all right? It's coming. That's beautiful, what she just provided for me and for all of us. Let me bounce back to Lindsey for a second. So the nutrition side, and you mentioned this earlier about food. If you, and I know it's hard because we are all so individual, and you do have to find what works for you most, because what works for one person, it's not cookie cutter. That doesn't work for another person. So from the nutrition side, where do you think people, I don't want to say fail, go wrong? And where it hasn't been working for them? Do they try too hard? Are they trying this diet and that diet?
I think, maybe all the fads and the diets just are all or nothing and unrealistic. And so you feel like you try something and you fail and you just give up. I really feel like I'm trying to teach women how to understand food so that it doesn't feel like a diet. It's just your lifestyle. And I also want to help women realize that they can follow this 80% of the time, the 80-20 rule, and we've all heard of that. But, let's say you go to a party and you have a piece of cake and you cave and have a second piece of cake, that can be your 20%. it's okay just to be kind to yourself and to be loving. I mean, I think people fail because they're too harsh on themselves. Right. And I think I really, really try to incorporate a lot of self-love and kindness, because you need to have that compassion for yourself.
Well, she just spoke, right? We're all speaking that whole language of kindness. And you hear me say it at the end of every show, which I will hear in just a bit, that is the greatest thing that you can give as a gift to somebody else, is to just be kind to them. Whether you think the same way or you don't think the same way. We know what's getting ready to happen in a few weeks, and there's so much out there right now, so much consumption on TV, which is why I don't turn it on. My husband is a news junkie, and I'm like, I do not want to hear it, because you'll hear him go off on this person or that person. I'm like, gosh, can we just be done with the election? Can we just get on with someone helping our world? That's really what we really, really need. But in these next few weeks, even more than ever, can you just be kind? Can you show kindness to each other? We would love to see that a little bit more. You just mentioned about what you are wanting to provide to the world a little bit more. You mentioned the event that was at Blush in Kirkwood, which we have a video, I think, hopefully, that Zach has that you provided for us of the two of you holding that together. There it was. What did this mean for the two of you? Because it was really you getting out of your comfort zone and holding your first big event. What did it mean for you?
I mean, it was just a little tick of my spiritual ladder saying you're on the right path. This is what you've always wanted to do, to be able to help other people. Lindsey and I are actually going to be doing another event at Blush in Kirkwood. Is it November 7th? And it will be all about empowering and kind of finding your higher self. So look for that too. But we'll do more of these.
Is that free?
It is.
It's a free event, ladies. So just ladies or ladies and gentlemen?
I mean, I feel like normally it's pretty much women just because it's a female boutique clothes.
But guys can buy stuff for the girls.
Yeah, but there's no, everybody's always welcome.
Good.
Yes. Yeah.
And what did it mean for you to hold your first big event?
It just gave me so much joy and confidence that, oh my gosh, I can do this and I can pull something off like this. I was so nervous the night before. I was practicing in front of my husband and I was just sweating. I was so nervous. But the day of, I felt like all of that nervousness melted away and I just truly felt like I was in my element, and I felt so calm at Blush with all of these amazing women who were there to support us. And everyone had a great time and really loved it. And it filled my heart so much, and it made me just feel fulfilled in a way I've never felt before.
I was very proud of you. Having never met her, I was proud of you both. You were teaching really slowing down, which we all need more of in life, teaching breath work, which is so important. Breath work, meditation, finding clarity through all the fog that you feel in your brain. You taught a lot about the nutrition side. You're very big on teaching people about seed oils. You want to talk about why?
Oh my gosh, I hate seed oils more than anything, Monica. And there's so much information out there and it's really, really confusing. But overall, I mean, seed oils or also vegetable oils are just promote oxidation and inflammation inside of your body, and they just really do nothing good for us. They're often paired with, if you look on a label at the store and you see canola oil, there's usually a lot of other bad and harmful ingredients paired with that canola oil. It's made very cheaply, and it's just they're horrible. And
so what oils would be good for us?
So we should be eating coconut oil, butter, tallow, ghee, avocado oil. Those are all the ones I would cook with. Olive oil is a great oil too. I would not cook with it at high heats. I'd use it in dressings and just unheated items. But overall, those are the good oils. So remember those. I'm all about it. I get really deep into it in my class.
I know you do. I truly believe that is one of her greatest passions.
It really is.
Because the clients that I have handed over to Lindsey, they're like, she's talking about seed oils. I'm like, I know, that's her passion project.
Yes,
I love this.
It seriously is. Just get rid of them. I promise it will. If you get rid of seed oils, you're going to be eliminating, I swear, 80 to 90% of the bad foods. When I say bad, I mean just packaged, over-processed foods. They're in all the over-processed foods. So just eliminating those alone, I feel like you're going to jumpstart your health and going to be feeling better. I just really know it.
And if we don't eliminate those, we're going to look at the things we talked about yesterday, which is a lot of inflammation and a lot of gut issues.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of things that all of a sudden manifest themselves and show up in the body, on the outside of the body, et cetera. You would never believe
Yes.
until you start changing and taking these things out how you really are supposed to have been feeling.
I mean, a friend of mine who's also I've done some coaching with has just made some little changes, like taking the seed oils out, eating less sugar, eating a little bit more protein, and she's lost like 15 to 20 pounds, and she didn't really even know it. She went to the doctor, and then she went back 6 months later to check on something else, and she just like, oh my gosh, I lost just 15 pounds. And so it can be very effortless if you make these little changes, and she's feeling great. That's the bottom line, is that she's feeling good too.
And this is why I've combined the trio that's in this room right now, because again, it's nutrition, hydration, movement, mind, body, soul connections. That's what this whole show is about. So, by the way, Hannah, thank you for your moderating, getting rid of the people who are trying to bogart the show. Thank you for doing that. Hannah, Tia, and Zach behind the scenes. Marilyn, yes, I know I've heard you say before that you are Sicilian. Congrats, Monica. Thanks, ladies. Interesting. My relatives are all from Sicily. I will live vicariously through you on your trip. No, Rose, come on the trip. Make it happen. I cook for me and my cousin on Sundays. We have food left over. I give some to my neighbors and friends. That's kindness, right? How do we get on your event notification list? If you are on my website, if you have emailed me in the past, you should be on there, Marilyn. I'll make sure. But we will be sending out information on all of these upcoming events. Again, December 8th, if you want to mark it on your calendar, that will be the Feel the Authenticity workshop. Only 26 people are going to be able to be there. Tickets will go on sale for that. As I said, probably in a couple of weeks. Food, drinks, and a literally life, mind, body, soul change to bring the most authentic part of your life forward. Debbie says, great show, Monica. Lindsey, I am looking forward to your class and your grocery shopping. There are way too many choices out there. Cristy, I definitely need a reading from you. This is from Debbie Warner. Do you know Debbie?
Well, that's my mom.
That's your mom. All right. So hi, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
I love Mom. I just finally had a chance to meet Mom. Rose says, great show. Go, Lindsey. This is from your sister, Lexi. She says, you are doing great. What a knowledgeable class and so helpful. I just love your family, by the way.
They're the best.
I'm
so lucky.
Best family. I always tell them, like, can I be the fourth
Right?
sister?
I said,
Will
yes.
you adopt me?
Come on in.
I want to be one too.
Yes.
You're
welcome.
I can be Aunt Monica.
Your sister, Monica.
All right, let's do this. Let's bring everything home for you that you need to follow these wonderful women, because there's so much that they can do for you. We could go on for the next couple of hours, but I know my team has to get to work on some other things. Illuminate Health and Wellness. Follow her on Facebook and Instagram.
Yep.
And there's the correct phone number now, 314-640-7138. Do you have a website?
No, I don't. I just
Well,
have Instagram.
I'm just going to put it out there. You need one, and you need
I
it
know.
soon.
Okay, I'll work on that. If Monica says I need to do something, I do it. So,
all right,
yes.
I'm like her Oprah.
You are my Oprah.
And then I want you to look into Reiki, tarot card readings, things for yourself. You could have parties, so much more that she can do, meditation, etc. CristianaRose.com is the website that you can go to. And then you can also email her, CristyK30@gmail.com, bringing so much love and light to the world that these ladies are doing. Okay, so I'm going to let you choose. Let's see if we can get one collectively. 100 Days to Freedom. So we've got shame, we have fear and anxiety, overeating, depression, and anger. We're trying to free the world of these things that, and a lot of them really do feed into each other. So what are you ladies feeling?
Ooh. Do you want to do the eating one, since you are like, your mission is about healthy eating?
Yeah, let's do it.
If you chose one for you, what would it be?
For me, probably anxiety.
Okay, I thought so.
That's what I
So how
was
about we
thinking.
give you two? And I'm going to combine them together. We are going to do purple and teal together. 100 Days to Freedom from Overeating and 100 Days to Freedom from Fear and Anxiety when we return. He wants to say, I can't believe I took your son's life. I don't know what I was thinking. I have so much regret and remorse. I've changed my life. Would you accept that apology?
I've never thought of that. Yeah. Yeah, I would.
Do you think, because you talk about forgiveness, do you think that you all can ever forgive one another and come back together?
It wasn't just right. I'm not perfect. Just because my name is Bush, I don't have it all figured out. And I think they know that too.
I was cyclically depressed, so I could be the happiest person you ever met at 11 a.m. I could be on cloud 9, and by 7 p.m. that evening, I'd be sitting on a couch with a gun in my hand and thinking hard not to get emotional. I
never feel sorry for being emotional.
I really, I was at a space to where I couldn't believe that I had brought my children into this.
Where's the light? Because many of you probably feel that there's this darkness and there's this thunder cloud that's constantly over you. This family has dealt with so much.
Our journey is our journey. There has to be purpose in this pain. There has to be something more powerful. I have to find something to be blessed about every day. I have to count my blessings and have gratitude every single day.
So proud of everything that my team has been able to do over this last year and a half. I was just commenting on all those wonderful people and how they have bared their souls. When we're talking about feel the authenticity, they allowed themselves to go there. Be real, be raw. Men, women, kids, seniors. I want to affect the masses of the world. That's truly why I walked away from television and started this show. Because what I was doing before, I didn't feel, I think we did a lot of great work. Don't get me wrong. In 30 years, I'm blessed with the following I've had. We've actually doubled my audience since I walked away from television, which to me really meant that you wanted more of this. More inspiration, more light, more positivity, more motivation, less of the anger, the depression, all those things that are happening in the world. But I'm not saying that they're not taking place. It is. There's addictions like overeating that take place. And one of the things that Lindsey can help you with is truly understanding how the body is supposed to work when it's at its best. So day 23, this is 100 Days to Freedom from Overeating from our friend Stephen Arterburn. And this one's called The Loving Kindness of God. Do you not know that God's kindness leads you to repentance? That's Romans 2, verse 4. There are many approaches to how to eat in a healthy manner and affect weight loss instead of weight gain. No matter which approach works best for you, you need to remember that it is through God's love that true change will happen. So keep in mind how much God loves you and let that love lead your behavior. This will be one of the most life-changing mindsets that you can have. In our weakest moments, when we make poor choices, He doesn't judge you, but you judge yourself. Others might be looking and pointing. By the way, what they feel about you is none of your business. What they're saying about you is none of your business. Think about that comment. It's very true. He is with us, loving us through those difficult moments. This realization is how lasting changes can occur. Mother Teresa, when you know how much God is in love with you, then you can only live your life radiating that love. Stormy says it's not about finding ways to avoid God's judgment and feeling like a failure if you don't do everything perfectly, which you'll never do because you're not perfect. None of us are. It's about fully experiencing God's love and letting it be perfect around you. It's not about being somebody you are not. It's about becoming who you really are and letting it perfect you, right? We just say it a different way. The true evidence of someone who knows they are loved is that they love well. We're going to give you two prayers today. From this one, Heavenly Father, thank you that you are a God who steps forward with love and that you are so faithful. I praise you. I'm filled with gratitude. Help me to remember that you are with me always. And when I'm weak, help me to allow your strength to lead me. Help me to have love and compassion for myself when it comes to my relationship with food. Amen to that. And if you're struggling with food, this is when you reach out to Lindsey and let her help you with that. She is bursting at the seams to help you. It's truly her passion project, so let her do that. And then the fear and anxiety. And I love the fact that Cristiana Rose can help you with this because she walked the path herself of feeling anxious. A lot of people pick this, by the way, Cristy. 100 Days to Freedom from Fear and Anxiety. We're on day 46. We have literally doubled this one compared to a lot of the other books. So much fear and anxiety in the world, and it's okay, but it's where we're trying to get you to release that. God is our refuge and strength, always ready to help in times of trouble. Powerful God, this one's called. Anxieties and fears weaken our resolve, create uncertainty, make us feel like we are alone in our struggles. Our worries can make us feel incompetent, confused. And what did I say earlier? If this isn't eerie, we get stuck. Okay? This book, I did not know that she was going to choose. I said that to you earlier. As we try to power alone through the challenges in our lives, we resist the strength that God provides. How's that working for you? As a life coach, how often do I say to all of you, how's that working for you? Is it serving you? Then why are you hanging on to it? You may have experienced disappointment with God. Prayers that weren't answered the way you wanted or in the timeline that you wanted. Deep losses that you blame God for allowing to happen. Disappointment can interrupt the truth that God is powerful and able to help us in our time of need. How can we increase our belief in the truth that God is our help and refuge in times of trouble? Are you questioning that? Changing your view of God is integral to experiencing his strength and peace. We need to grasp that life will not always turn out the way we had hoped, but God will make a way in the difficulty. The great challenges we experience will not go unnoticed by our Heavenly Father. He will see us through. Resist the lie that you are on your own in life. Ask for help, strength each day from the one who created everything. He is able. Stephen Curtis Chapman says, his strength is perfect when our strength is gone. He'll carry us when we can't carry on. Raised in his power, the weak become strong, and his strength is perfect. Max Lucado, we serve a God who says that even when we're under pressure and feel like nothing is going to go right, he's waiting for us to embrace us, whether we succeed or whether we fail. And Paul David Tripp says, remember, it's not your weakness that will get in the way of God's working through you, but your delusions of strength. His strength is made perfect in our weakness. Point to his strength by being willing to admit your own weakness. And a bonus prayer. Dear God, help me recognize that you are with me in every situation, every moment, and you'll provide everything I need. Thank you for your power at work in our lives. Amen to that. Good ones, ladies.
Yeah.
Very good ones. Thank you both for your gifts. Thank you for coming in and providing your gifts to our audience. And again, I hope that you reach out to these ladies and that whether it's today or it's 2 days from now or a week or a month, you'll know when it's your time. And that's when you'll make the call or you'll reach out. Start following both of them, by the way, on social media. Thank you.
Thank you so
Monica.
much.
And to you, thank you. Again, I say it all the time. Believe in yourself. Don't keep asking for permission. The permission is there. Just take hold of the reins and explore the opportunities that exist in this life for you. Get uncomfortable. Wait till you see what happens. Greatest thing you can do, remember, go out in this vast world. Believe in yourself first and foremost. By the way, do bundle up because it's a cold one today. As you meet somebody today, go ahead, get out of your comfort zone, say something to a complete stranger who could turn into a lifelong friend and take you on a path that you never even knew existed for you. And that means that you showed kindness to each other. And that's all I can ever ask of you, is to be kind. God bless you all.